Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the HollyDudes Podcast. My name is Tim.
I'm Steve, and let's kick it off with some Week 21 box office.
Let's do it.
So, no surprise at all. Lilo and Stitch, $217 million.
Yeah, total wipeout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Week 21, $217 million. Gained another $17 million on Friday to bring a domestic total of $234 million. Against a $100 million budget. So
I think we're going to be getting more of these live action remakes.
Yeah.
Snow White is the outlier here of not making any money. And even that still, I think it's like number 12.
It didn't make anything. It sucked.
It's like number 12
It didn't even close to make its budget back, though.
Yeah, but, you know.
It didn't even.
Lilo and Stitch
just
will make up for it.
Just because one person's going to see it over and over again. Rachel Zegler just keeps going to see Snow White in between her OnlyFans shoots.
Someone found out that movie is the only way to get their kid to sleep. And so they just keep bringing their kid back.
Going to private screenings of Snow
White. Every day. Yeah, nap time.
Yeah. It's at a worldwide of $469 million. Like I said, nice. A budget of $100 million. So it's well more than made its budget back.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, you said we're going to get more live action Disney movies. So of course we are, right? Until the sun explodes. Do you think, so, I mean, they made a bunch of sequels to Lilo and Stitch. They made like a TV series and all that.
Yeah.
I only barely remember seeing maybe some of the TV show, I think. I don't know if I saw any of the other movies. What do you think? There's plenty more IP to be had there. You don't keep pumping them out.
It's recognizable. Everyone loves Stitch. Why not?
Why
man?
Not? Hey, just made well over $100 million in a weekend.
Yeah.
Might as well make another one.
They could make another one tomorrow and that'd be fine.
Yeah. Wouldn't be shocked at all. I would love to see more Stitch in theaters. I while I enjoyed the animated one more, dude, the Stitch, like I need that. Where's the VR Neuralink where I could just have a Stitch?
Well, you got a dog. Just paint him blue.
Look at how cute that
paint
thing
him blue.
Yeah. Well,
it's a rascal.
I don't know if he'd be amenable to the blue body paint. He's not really an Avatar fan.
That's fine. Just don't give him any dairy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I was telling Tim, my dog loves milk for some reason. It's like his favorite thing in the whole world. So, I was giving him just a little bit of milk last night after my dinner. And about 20 minutes later, we're sitting on the couch together having a great time. And that dog projectiled that milk like The Exorcist all over my living room.
Oh, my God.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
pets.
There's that. Right?
Pets. Gotta love them.
Pets are great. I bet Stitch wouldn't do that to me. But our second place was Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. So, okay, it made $95 million in week 21. It padded that a little bit up to just under $103 million as of the end of Friday.
Yep.
A worldwide box office of $239 million against a $400 million budget.
I think this was the Final Reckoning.
Unfortunately, I don't. Ooh, man, after the last one lost a bunch of money and this one loses a bunch of money.
The only thing that could save this franchise is Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one personally financing half of these movies anyway. So
it's entirely up to Tom whether this thing continues. But how long does one man want to keep losing hundreds of millions of dollars?
Yeah. Not that long. I haven't lost hundreds of millions of dollars yet. Yet. Got to make it first.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah. I can't imagine he would want to be doing this too much longer, but the man's a maniac.
Yeah, he did, do that plane stunt.
Yeah.
So, that it's just rough. These things have to make $1 billion. And unfortunately, there's just not the climate for this right now.
There is
people are excited. People who like movies and like these movies are excited, but are like the younger crowd rushing out to see 60-year-old Tom Cruise do stuff? No. So, and Lilo and Stitch was coming out this weekend. And we said it all along that they hate this thing because they keep putting these Mission Impossible movies up against just the worst competition you could have, So, unfortunately, I don't see a world where this legs it up to the $1 billion that it's going to need.
It's not going to. Even 500 million, I'm like, no, I don't see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's just, man, poor Tom. Golf clap for Tom.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Yeah.
You
know. Karate Kid Legends.
Karate Kid Legends, man. So yeah, for Friday, both our movies, Karate Kid Legends and Bring Her Back, made the top 5. Karate Kid Legends made $7.5 million on a $45 million budget.
How much should they have to refund to the ticket payers?
Right. After my experience, I certainly would have loved a refund from the studio. Yeah. I'm curious to see what the final weekend numbers are for it. I'm sure it'll be somewhere around the 20 million-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I think it'll probably get washed away in the coming weeks, and barely make the initial budget back, and then whatever they spend on marketing will just be gone with the wind.
Yeah. I mean, who's the market for this? We were just talking about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning having a pretty rough marketing experience, but who is clamoring to see Karate Kid Legends?
Right.
Apparently not that many people.
Right. Yeah. Right. Bring Her Back came in number 5 on Friday with $3 million, but its budget was 4.5.
Right. So Bring Her Back, my crowd at least, there was like 20 people in the theater. So
there you go.
Yeah, really good for a matinee showing on a Saturday. Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Early reviews seem very positive.
Yes.
Everything I'm seeing seems positive. Doesn't sound at all like my sort of enjoyable experience.
No, you love it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I good for them. It seems so far a good year for horror. The Last Rodeo also got its release last week. Alongside Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. It made $8.6 million on an $8.5 million budget. So good for them.
Yeah.
It's currently sitting at 9.2 domestic. No international box office information yet. This is an Angel Studios product.
Yeah, I don't see it getting an international
probably
release,
not,
really. Yeah.
But that Angel Studios crowd is pretty loyal, and of course this thing made its money back immediately, so good for them. Good for them.
They could afford to sell that F-150 and a ton of other cool prizes.
A ton of other cool prizes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Our last new release for this week was the limited release for one of my most highly anticipated films of the year, The Phoenician Scheme from Wes Anderson. It released to 6 theaters for a total of $270,000, making it the highest grossing movie per theater this past Friday. So good for them.
Yeah,
sure. Good for them. I'm super excited to see this next week.
I'm not. I'll pass.
Oh,
that's
I'll
all
be there
you, buddy.
Day one.
That's all you.
So excited.
Yeah.
So excited. I really hope this is more Grand Budapest Hotel, less Asteroid City.
That's what all the marketing is saying. The best Wes Anderson since the Grand Budapest Hotel.
And that's good. That's
like...
Hell
that wasn't that long ago, right? Like, what did he do between
ago.
then? And then I saw, Asteroid City released a couple years ago.
Man, Asteroid City, I did not enjoy. One day I want to try to take another whack at that, but that was one of the very rare experiences where I didn't even finish the movie.
Wow.
I think I got 40 minutes in and I said, this is nothing.
And you made it through Hurry Up Tomorrow.
And I made it through Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Damn.
Yeah. So one day I'll try that again. But next week I will absolutely be putting a review out for The Phoenician Scheme. I cannot wait to see that. I like me some good Wes Anderson. So hopefully this is good Wes Anderson, and it'll be awesome. Hurry Up Tomorrow was 10th place for week 21.
Yeah.
It made just over $1 million. It's currently sitting at a worldwide box office total of just under $5.9 million with a reported $15 million budget. And that brings my heart nothing but absolute joy and peace. And hell yeah, lose money.
The
lose
weekend
$20 million.
Is, he's going to start one of those Vegas residencies where he's performing at a, failing casino over in Vegas, and losing all his money like Bruno Mars.
Yeah, a Vegas residency. You know who else had a Vegas residency
Katy
at the end
Perry?
of their career? Joan Rivers.
Really?
Yeah.
They're twins.
See? Exactly. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Right? It proves my theory correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, another round week in the box office. Glad to see Lilo and Stitch making a bunch of money. Sure, they're going to top the box office again this weekend. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any competition from Karate Kid Legends. So...
Bring her back, definitely not getting any kids in the crowd for that.
No,
don't think no normal ones. Creepy kids, sure, yeah.
Yeah, the quiet kid in the back of the class
with
the oversized book bag one day. Yeah, no. Yeah, so, that was box office for week 21. Let's move into some things that we saw this week.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, so I saw Karate Kid Legends, if any of you have seen the Just the Tip or the shorts that came out. And my God, was it an experience. It was legendary.
Great experience?
No. What's the opposite of great?
Bad? Really bad?
What's badder?
God, a Hurry Up Tomorrow experience?
Hurry Up Tomorrow is not a movie. Okay, so... Man, when people were asking at work, hey, what'd you see? How'd it go? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I saw Karate Kid Legends. This is the worst actual movie that I've had to see for this channel.
Are you serious?
Because I don't consider Hurry Up Tomorrow like a true movie, right? It's like a fucking hour and a half long music video visualizer thing with no real narrative, This is the worst actual movie I've had to see for this channel.
Wow.
This is bad. So, Karate Kid Legends is PG-13. It's 94 minutes long. It's directed by Jonathan Entwistle, who you might know him for The End of the World and I Am Not Okay, or The End of the Effing World, apparently. And I Am Not Okay with This. These are like Netflix series or something. Yeah. Apparently people like them. I've never seen either of them. I don't really watch Netflix series. Not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is bad. This is currently sitting at a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.6 on IMDb.
Yikes.
I haven't seen any of the other Karate Kid products, right?
Nor have I.
Was my first full film exposure to Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make me, excited to go see something else. What makes me excited to go see other Karate Kid movies is more the reaction to this thing, that this is by far the worst thing, and everything else is way better compared to this. So,
it's only only gets better from here. So.
It fucking has to. So the stars.
Hold on, they're saying it's worse than the Jaden Smith.
Yes.
Wow.
It's worse than the Jaden Smith, and it's worse than Karate Kid 3 with the girl or whatever,
Oh,
it's bad.
Okay.
Bad. These are cinematic masterpieces compared to those currently. So this stars Ben Wang, newcomer. He is, this time around, our magical Karate Kid is Li Fong. He's a... Okay. So, Li Fong.
Yeah.
So what they want you to believe in this movie is that Li Fong he's Chinese. He's got a successful doctor mom. He had an older brother who was really into kung fu, and he fought in some tournament, and he won, and the other guy got mad, and so afterwards they jumped Li Fong and his brother, and they murdered the brother, and
holy shit.
Yeah, which you see it, they stab him, this whole thing, right? Which is relevant to the rest of my review,
Yeah.
So then he he freezes and doesn't save his brother, and that's his whole oh man, his character thing, right? And but anyway, so then he's also training kung fu under Jackie Chan, Mr. Han, who was Training Jaden Smith in that
same
one,
universe.
Yeah, same character. And So they're like training, and his mom like gets a job in New York, and so we're no more karate for you, no more kung fu. We gotta pack up. We're leaving all that fighting behind, and we're going to New York. This is an American.
Yeah.
This is an obvious American.
Yeah.
And they hand wave not the faintest wisp of an accent. And they hand wave it away by saying, "Oh, well, my mom had a job in Hong Kong for a little bit, and so I went to an American school in Hong Kong."
I mean, that's a thing.
Yes, it's a thing.
Yeah.
But it's not with accents.
True.
Like, people can, live in this, like, okay, so by the same logic, right? So he has more of an American accent than the Chinese immigrants that he meets in America who actually live here.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense at all whatsoever. How he just even in China, when he's interacting with characters in China, he just has a perfect American accent, speaking English.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a decision.
It's a decision that somebody made. So that's Li Fong. Who's like past the point of like, amateur karate kid. Like he's already like, the fucking karate kid, So we got Ben Wang, we got Jackie Chan. The mom is played by Ming Na Wen. She's been in like a bunch of stuff. You would recognize her if you saw her.
Okay.
She's just been in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Sadie Stanley is like the love interest girl in this. My notes say fat throat girl. She's got a fat throat, bro. Like she's got a pretty face and a nice body, but like I just could the whole time I'm watching, I like couldn't ignore this. Like she's got a big throat.
It's not like an Adam's apple, or
no, she's got a big throat.
She's just got a big throat.
She's got a big throat. The girl's all throat,
Hey, throat goat.
Baby. Yeah. Then we also get Joshua Jackson is fantastic in this. He's probably like the highlight of this movie. He plays Victor Lapani, who is the love interest Mia's father.
Okay.
They own like an independent pizza shop in New York City, and it is like right by where Lee and his mother are, living now.
Yeah.
The way the movie gives you for relativity of things is hard to explain. So I don't really know where everything is.
It's a New York movie. Everything's got to be New York is the best,
but it's not very well done as New York. It doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah.
Aramis Knight is Connor. He's like the bad guy in the bad kid. And then Tim Rozon plays O'Shea, who like runs the bad dojo and is also like a mob guy or something, shady loan shark, who has access to like hitmen and stuff.
So, but he runs the dojo.
But he runs the dojo. Yeah, that specializes in like head kicks and like beating people like when they're down.
Oh, okay. So just like bare knuckle.
Not but it's just all attempted murder.
Oh, okay.
So
perfect cover if I'm into illegal activities is a job where I'm going to be associated with potential murderers all the time. Yeah.
I guess, so in this fictional New York City, so that's a thing. There's like karate fighting tournaments like on the streets of New York in broad daylight where people are like attempted murdering each other. Because I don't know, maybe to my international viewers this might be a different thing, but in America, you can't kick somebody in the back of the head. Even in most professional fights, that's frowned upon.
Definitely not.
And if you're out in a street fight, that's attempted murder in most states. So that's like their signature move in this movie is like, let me kick you right in the back of the head where like your brainstem meets your neck.
Yeah. Right in the old brain.
Yeah.
What is the New York State Athletic Commission doing about this? Are they doing anything?
I don't think they exist in this fictional New York.
Dana White would be so thrilled to get to New York. Every single UFC event will be in New York.
Right.
They'd fly the Apex over there.
Yeah. So, Lee and his mom moved to New York. She's all no fighting.
Yeah.
She like has some kind of an accent, but for some reason,
He does.
the homegrown American boy does not.
He's got Kentucky accent.
He's sounds just as American as you or I.
Foghorn Leghorn.
He's Foghorn Leghorn.
I'm gonna teach you some karate moves.
Practically, yeah. Might as well, man. Might as well. So they move here. He meets Mia, his new love interest, right? It's like the first friend he made, throat goat girl, they become friends, and he starts like hanging out at the pizzeria. Well, Victor, the dad, played by Joshua Jackson, again, the best part of this, because he's like charming and this like fatherly presence, and provides a lot of like warmth and comedy in this thing. This movie really like is his story for the first like 45 minutes. Yeah. Because you very quickly find out that he owes money to some loan sharks, and he's got a fight coming up. And so he wants Lee to train him some kung fu to make him a better boxer so that he can win this boxing match, because he's old and slow. Okay. And so he saw Lee like moving like water, and it was all, oh, I need to learn that shit, man, So
is he paying this kid? Or just giving him pizza and being like, dude, like, you do this, I'll let you hook up with my daughter.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Damn.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
What a deal.
So he's like kind of working there, but I don't know if they're paying him. I don't know. It's very, it's none of this is, above face value. Right. He's just kind of there. And his mom apparently isn't asking any questions about it until like it's obvious that he's been fighting, Well,
I mean, she's a doctor. She's doing like 20-hour shifts, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever. Yeah.
We spend like 45 minutes on this, right? And it's all following this. Like he's going to train, like we're doing the Creed thing, but like the young guy's training the old man, and then he loses.
Really?
And then that whole thing is just kind of like washed away in favor of, well, okay, you know what, Lee, you're going to fight in a karate tournament, and you're going to win, and you're going to get the money, and you're going to save the day. And so these other characters just kind of like go to the side. And then we get, so at this point we're halfway through this movie, and we've completely flipped, right? And so Jackie Chan flies from Beijing, and he's like, I'm gonna train you, and he's like, but first I gotta go get some help. And so he goes to California and gets Ralph Macchio.
Why?
And they come back.
Why?
Because Miyagi. Because 2 branches, 1 tree. Because Miyagi-san. They don't explain it. It's just because of a connection to Mr. Miyagi, and so he must be, the man, right?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly, sure. So then we get a long, training montage of these 2 old grown men just kicking the crap out of this boy. He
had it coming.
He pretty much did. And it's also questionable how old he is, because there are several scenes where he's like drinking beer with Victor Lipinski, and it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were in high school. So now he's drinking with you too? Like,
well, everyone knows that kids cannot drink unless they're 21.
But
your body just rejects all of it.
He's the karate kid.
Yeah. Your body will just reject all of it. That must have been like some non-alcoholic.
Sure. I was like looking at the label trying to figure out if it was.
Pickles and rubber bands.
Like, it just looks like the same beer that the dad's drinking. So, So, they're going to fight in this tournament. You get a training montage, right? Yeah. Which is mostly like, Ralph Macchio is mostly just kind of like standing around or like saying something eventually, they just kind of brought him over here for some reason.
Paycheck.
And this is also that he can end up fighting Connor, because Connor is Mia's ex-boyfriend, of course.
Ralph Macchio fights him?
I wish. No, this is so that Li Fong can fight Connor, the angry kid, who, of course is Mia's ex-boyfriend, and that's been a conflict like throughout the movie, and so of course that's coming to the climax. Meanwhile, like along the side of this, they keep sending dudes to like hit Victor, right? They show up with
the evil Jim,
the bad guy, O'Shea, Tim Rosen's character. They end up, they send dudes with like studded sticks, and they like,
what the fuck?
They're
dude,
like,
get
they
a
keep
gun.
Kill these fucking exactly people. Where I'm going. This is supposed to take place in the 5 boroughs of New York City.
Everyone's got a gun.
Everybody's got a gun, dude. Like, at no point
you're walking up on someone with a stick. stupid.
All these head kicks, all this like nonsense, all the these open street fights. This
no one's got like a cousin that's got nothing to lose.
No.
Jesus Christ.
At no point in this movie does somebody pull out the force multiplier and like get this party popping.
Right.
Like that is the most preposterous part of this movie, is that at no time is there a gun.
They want to settle it in a sanctioned karate match.
It's not even like a sanction. It's like this weird like street fight where people die supposedly.
Bro, just fucking shoot them.
Just fucking shoot
them.
If this was that big of a deal, just fucking shoot them. Instead, you got like 8 of your henchmen crippled for life from broken legs, backs, and arms and shit. Just shoot them.
Why did this movie have to take place in New York, though?
They wanted to do like they always do that. It's a stranger in a foreign land, and so he's got to learn karate.
He could have been an American who went to
They did that with
China.
With the Jaden Smith one.
Okay, but try it again.
Maybe
it'll work. And then he could be like, "Can I just shoot him?" And they're like, "Dude, we don't have guns here."
Right.
Oh,
that would have made for a funny joke.
I guess I'll use karate.
Yeah.
Like, what?
that I think that would have been a funny joke at least. This at no point does nobody even comments on the fact of like a possibility of a gun. Like there is definitely a gun coming out at some point.
Right.
Somebody's getting shot in this thing.
Someone's brother was killed with a kick to the back of the head, and there was zero retaliation.
Nothing.
This is insane.
It's just yeah. The fact that like there's so many things in here where it's like that guy had to be hospitalized. Like like what are you
checking on Mike?
Right? Right? It's just it didn't make any sense. And then of course you get to the end and it's the bad guys, like sponsored by the mob versus the good guys, and they just like let the good guys win, and everybody lives happily ever after.
There's no like cheap shots.
No, there's no cheap. Well, there's like an attempted cheap shot, but like it doesn't go great, and it's just like, but nobody like just firebomb the restaurant or something. Right. I don't know. They like trash the place, but it's like.
I got to pick up all my menus now. Oh.
They just didn't understand force escalation in this,
Right.
They needed to consult actual criminals to understand how that part would interact into this.
The writers need to leave their apartments and actually go out and see what the world is like, because people are nuts. Dude, people will escalate anything into a
the
shooting
kind of characters
match.
you're trying to portray in the place that you're trying to portray them. Like
violent criminals.
Yeah.
Where the law apparently doesn't care about them killing people in the street.
Exactly.
And they're going to use sticks.
They're going to use sticks. But like the sticks are attempted murder too, because they were like the nail studded sticks sort of, and it's like, dude, like, we already killed one guy with a knife. Like, like there's.
All right. I want the next one to take place in Baltimore.
Right.
I want to see how that goes.
Karate
down.
Kid Chicago, and I bet it goes just about like my Just the Tip.
Yeah.
Get shot immediately.
Yeah.
So it was bad. It was just bad. And so everything that I've been bitching about so far has been like plot related for the most part, and script related stuff. You
have more to bitch about?
I haven't even gotten to the fact that like most of these fight scenes, this is a karate movie, are like unintelligible.
A lot of quick cuts.
Yeah.
Like a Taken where they're trying to cover up.
Like the Bourne Supremacy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where it's a shaky cam and a quick cut.
Yeah.
So you can't tell what's going on between these two combatants. This is a karate movie.
Was there a choreographer
that doesn't make
on the
any
movie? Was there like a stunt choreographer? Or...
I don't know. Jackie Chan has said that
we'll
he doesn't train karate anymore because he trained for 60 years. So
he doesn't have to do it.
He
doesn't have to do it.
Yeah, but this didn't make any sense.
Do a Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal doesn't do his own stunts anymore. He's just like, I know a guy, I'll bring him in. And then like has some 20-year-old kid kick the other guy's ass. Or 20-year-old kid. It's like 45-year-old man that they call 20-year-old kid.
Right. Yeah. Or like not even in the fights, or it's a stranger in a new land, right? So we're going to a new place. So of course there's going to be long montage scenes of around this city or
nasty New York.
Okay, right.
Rats. Look at how romantic.
There were no rats too either. So this was nothing. There were no bums like throwing up on the street. Like this was not New York. But they have these montage, and they'd be edited like a speed PowerPoint. like somebody's first try at PowerPoint where they're experimenting with all the different transitions, right?
Star wipes.
This one comes in from here, and this one goes boom, and this one disintegrates, and it was, and it's all rapid fire. It's like, here's a 1 second frame of this thing, and then this one sweeps in from this corner, and here's a 1 second frame of this, and here's a montage, and then here it all disintegrates, and it goes into this thing, and then
I think we should start doing that for the podcast,
right?
In our different segments,
just the whole thing. Every second of the podcast, the visuals will just frame in transition.
Sound effects too.
Yeah. Oh God, it was unreadable.
Damn.
It was so hard to watch. I lasted, you know what? I'll let you guess. I'll give you $5 if you can come within 2 minutes.
Of how long
How long do you think it took me to check my watch in this movie?
2 minutes?
No.
10.
11.
11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Damn.
It's 11 minutes before I was like, oh man, this has to be going somewhere. Are you kidding me? I was like, oh my fucking God, you're shitting me in the theater.
Oh no.
Dude. 11 minutes into this thing. So it was bad. I don't recommend anybody go see Karate Kid Legends. It's not a good use of your hour and a half. Please see something else. Do not support this. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. This was all bad.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I got something that they could see.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear about it.
Let's get into it. So I got the chance to see something a little bit better.
It's good.
And by a little bit better, I mean a lot better. This movie was great. It is Bring Her Back.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So this is A24's latest horror movie, brought to you by Michael and Danny Philippou. They're the two YouTubers turned filmmakers. They made the 2022 horror movie Talk to Me. I don't know if you've ever seen that with the
hell no.
That would freak you out.
No, I'm gonna pass.
Very good movie as well. This takes place in the same universe. It's not a direct sequel, but same universe. I couldn't make it through the full first one.
Okay.
I fell asleep, but I was trying to watch it at like 9 a.m. So yeah, that was my fault. But great movie. Bring Her Back takes you to Australia. You have two step siblings, Andy and Piper. Piper is visually impaired, so she could see like lights and shapes, but nothing else. So Andy is 17. He's about to turn 18 in about 3 months. So when their father dies, they go into the foster system where Sally Hawkins is their foster mom.
I've heard this is a wonderful performance from Sally Hawkins.
Great performance from Sally Hawkins. I mean, I haven't seen any Sally Hawkins performances where I'm like, she phoned it in.
Yeah.
Even The Shape of Water, which I'm pretty sure, didn't she win an Oscar for that?
I believe she did.
Yeah. The Shape of Water, she really gave it her all in this one.
Double check that while you're...
Yeah. So Sally Hawkins is recovering from her own loss. Her daughter died in a drowning incident. It doesn't say how many years ago, but yeah, she's still clearly affected from that. So, but they're not alone. They have a foster brother, Ollie, who you've seen in the poster and in the trailers. He's a odd little kid, shaved head, doesn't say anything, just sort of creeps him out. He's great in this movie as well. So things quickly become apparent that she is not all there, Sally Hawkins, not all there, trying a little too hard
a name
to be
like
nice.
Sally.
Yeah. Well, her name in the movie is Laura, so can't tell with Laura's. Creepy shit starts occurring. I don't want to get into spoilers.
Yeah, no, give it to me. Yeah, hell yeah.
Spoilers?
All hard, right. Deep,
hard
faster.
spoil.
I want the full shaft. Don't give me just the tip.
Yeah. You're getting the full 2 inches right here.
Hell yeah.
So Laura is trying to use Ollie. Ollie has like some spirit or something inside of him that allows him to transfer the soul of her dead daughter, who she still has in a freezer, into Piper, the blind girl. So that requires Piper to die the same death as her daughter, Kathy. Just very creepy. So Andy is pretty much a main character. You're going to be following him most of the time. And Laura is doing whatever she can to get him out of there, get him out of the equation. So she stages it to look like Andy hit Piper, gives her a nice, shine on the eyes. So
excellent.
Yeah. This whole time, Andy's, still going through the traumatic experience of his father's death, which was very just, the horror in this isn't like jump scares. Mm-hmm. It's more just like shots of vomit and bloody vomit.
That's what I heard. Like that.
So yeah. So he it's quick. They're quick cuts, but it's Andy trying to give his dad CPR, and the dad.
I heard about.
It's got vomit and blood all over his face, and now he's got it on his mouth, and horrible watch.
Yeah.
But great storytelling though. So another moment of it is when Andy and Oliver are left alone, and she's like, "Don't let him out of that room. Don't let him out of that room." And so he's like, "Hey man, you hungry?" Trying to be a big brother.
Yeah.
So he's cutting up some fruit for him, and he's like, "All right, the deal is, if you want to eat, you got to talk to me, or write something down at least." And so he's cutting up fruit for him and goes to hand him the fruit, still on the end of the knife, and Ollie takes a whole knife, and he's just like, "Okay, let me just turn around and look in the cabinets for something." Before he knows it, Ollie's, trying to swallow the knife and chew on the knife, and you can hear all the sounds, and it's
gosh.
Yeah. Not quite ugly stepsister level of detail there, but just the sound of it, I'm like, oh no, why? So yeah. He's like trying to get him out. Hey, we gotta go to the hospital. I'm gonna rush you out here. And as soon as they cross, so her house is surrounded by this like white circle. It's present in all the trailer and the teasers and posters and whatnot. So as soon as he brings Ollie past this line, he just starts freaking the fuck out. Freaking out, screaming. Chest is doing all sorts of weird up and down shit. And all the while, just tons of blood because, he's sliced the whole front of his mouth open.
Yeah.
And so Sally Hawkins and Piper get back, and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, what happened?" He's like, "We gotta get him to a hospital." She's like, "No, bring him back inside right now." So I don't know why he just agreed with her, but yeah, she runs him back inside. So he starts doing better after she does this whole circle motion on him. I guess that sort of resets the demon angel thing. It doesn't go too deep into the details, but
okay.
Yeah.
So it's implied then that like the whatever some kind of paranormal power would like heal this person then, or
yeah.
Okay.
Well, not heal him, but just like reset him to being like some comatose weird child. So
he's still all like mouth all fucked up, but like
yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Fully fucked up mouth and face, but but not like lights are on but no one's home.
Right.
Sort of deal. So the whole time he's like just sort of trying to get into this shed out back. And that's where Sally Hawkins' daughter Kathy is currently on ice. So just sitting there waiting to be consumed by Ollie and then regurgitated into Piper. So
excellent.
Yeah. Really creepy shit.
Yeah.
Andy slips in the shower after seeing his dad, hits his head. He's in the hospital with the concussion. So this whole time he's trying to convince the social workers and whoever will listen, because the foster care system does not care about the kids.
Yeah.
Hey, this lady's trying to kill us or something. Someone go check it out. And in the office, he sees a missing poster for a child named Connor Bird, who happens to bear a very strong resemblance to Ollie, just with longer hair. So he's like, hey, that kid.
Bad week for Connor.
She's got him. Let's go. Yeah. So social worker goes with Andy, goes to the house, checks everything out. Oh yeah, everything looks okay, I guess, because she did a quick cleanup after Ollie, destroyed the house, just dumping food everywhere, chewing on the countertop, like biting through the countertop, the butcher block counter. Yeah. And then taking a chunk out of Sally Hawkins' arm, but she cleans up real fast. So social worker looks everything over. Oh yeah, everything's okay. Yeah. And as she's walking out, she's like, oh, goes and wipes her face, and oh, your hand is bleeding. What's up with that? And Sally Hawkins realizes, like, oh, the jig is up. So Andy finds the sister, Kathy, in the freezer and is yelling for the social worker, hey, get out here and come look at this. She's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Look, I found a way. I could bring back Kathy. You know how much this means to me. Don't go out there. Yeah. Don't tell anyone. Give me your phone. So social worker goes out with Andy and sees this and is like, holy fuck. All right, we got to get out of here. We're going. And Sally Hawkins runs him over. So social worker's dead on impact. Andy's still alive, but groggy. So Sally Hawkins goes over and buries his face in a puddle, drowns him.
Damn.
Yeah, like Bruce Willis in Glass.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. So Piper's on her own now.
Yeah.
Wondering what the hell is going on. Comes home and because Piper was at some, I don't know if it's blind sport. It's almost like soccer or something. They're sort of rolling the ball. Whatever, right? Yeah. So Sally Hawkins brings her home and she's like, where's Andy? And she hears Piper, but it's Ollie calling out, not Andy, just mimicking Andy's voice perfectly.
Yeah. So
she's like, that's not Andy. That's Ollie.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, what kind of hair did you say Ollie had? She's like, oh yeah, red curly hair. It's like, yeah, that's not curly hair. That's straight hair. And realizes, shit, I shouldn't trust Laura. Laura's trying to get me outside. That's not a good idea. So she runs and hides in the bathroom where she comes across Andy's corpse. Right, of course. So Laura breaks into the bathroom, tries wrestling with her, gets her outside, brings her out into the pool, and is trying to drown Piper to get her to die the same death that Laura died. All the while, Ollie is just devouring Kathy's corpse. Kathy, the daughter, in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
So all this is going on. Piper's struggling and trying to survive and stay above water, and yells out "Mom," and that's enough to make Sally Hawkins just sort of
freeze up for
let go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, freeze up, let go, because this is the first time she's been called Mom. She's been trying to tell them, call me Mom. They're like, no, you're Laura.
Yeah.
Andy's 17. He's not going to be calling someone else Mom.
Right.
So Piper, gets away, runs away, and Ollie, of course, has this full, human basically inside of him. Well, not really, but he's just like super distended.
Yeah, he's like from the homie in Men.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Sliced open, all that. So yeah, he's like trying to stop her and sees that missing poster for Connor Bird, and that sort of like gets him to just be like, "Nah, I'm gonna walk outside that circle." So he walks outside. Piper runs across the forest and luckily finds people who will help her. And police come in. They find Laura in the pool, like cradling her dead daughter with half her face missing. So yeah, that's it. Bring her back.
What happened to the Connor kid?
Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, so Connor gets found.
Oh,
so
but he's all like fucked.
They're
up
like, "Hey, kid, what's her name? Connor Bird."
But isn't he like,
Well, he threw up most of the shit, but yeah, he's still fucked up with the face and all that. Like,
so he didn't like give birth to the other.
No, he threw up. Like after walking outside that circle, he just like throws up all of Kathy onto the ground. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that sounds
just horrible. A lot of vomit, a lot of blood.
Yeah. Man, we'll lose my beer. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's a movie. It's about loss and grief and trying to cope.
Do you think they had to take it that far?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, sure. You don't think they could have wrote a lovely, sad drama about it and got the same point across?
Who would want that?
I would prefer to watch that.
No.
Oh, man.
You need to check this out.
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
So, I know you don't like horror. I know you don't like scary things. This isn't
I don't like vomit either, so no, this sounded...
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick. No, thanks.
It's quick. Just cover your eyes. Do an ugly stepsister.
Nah, probably just I don't know, watch Lilo and Stitch again.
All right, yeah.
That's
another movie about loss. So
exactly.
Imagine if Stitch were to eat Lilo's dead parents and then just sort of spit them up into the mouth of some kidnapped child or whatever and regain the. No. You don't like that? You don't like that idea?
I don't like that at all.
I think that would be a good sequel. You could tie these together. Lilo and Stitch and bring her back. You could tie them together. Have Stitch be this, this angel of a being that brings people back to life.
Right. Let us know in the comments if you think that would work out. Well, you know what, Tim? You let me know. Yeah, I think you should submit it to Disney Studios, and
I will. I'll write an email.
Yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Yeah, I'd eagerly await the response. Yeah,
let's do it.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, okay, cool. Well, at the very least, it sounds, graphically horrifying to me. But glad you enjoyed it. People seem to really be liking this thing. It's doing very well. Critically as well as audience scores, and it already made its money back. So
right.
This is all just cherries on the cake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, good stuff. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah. Check it out. Unless you're like me and you're big pussy. But,
no. Still, even then, check it out. 2 minutes of gore, not gonna hurt you. It's okay. It's just a movie. It's just a movie.
It's just
Relax,
a war crime.
Just breathe. War crimes only count if you lose.
That is very true. That is very true. If you win, you can write whatever you want.
Right.
So, that death toll can be, however many million you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
There is that, right? But, so that was it for our new releases this week.
Yeah.
I did watch some other stuff. So, let's talk about some older movies that came out.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right. So, Captain America Brave New World has come to Disney Plus. So, it was finally for a price where I was willing to see it.
You weren't going to pay $20?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. For those of you who have seen the previous episodes of the podcast, I've probably mentioned this several times. Amazon wanted $25 for a 2-day digital rental of Captain America Brave New World. And well, that's communism. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna spring the money for that, and of course I missed the chance to see it in theaters. So this is my first shot at getting to see this brave new movie.
What did you think?
Well, I think that my opinion mostly aligns with the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb members who have given this 48% and 5.7 respectively.
I won't even give it that much. Yeah, like 2 out of 10. It's really bad.
I don't think it's, if you were to like turn your brain off, it is more enjoyable than like a Eternals.
Really? No, no way.
Oh yeah,
no
I
way.
Think so. I think so.
No.
If I turned my brain off, like I think that was more. But maybe it's just more because I really do like spy thrillery sort of stuff, and so if like
there wasn't any thrill,
there's not enough.
There's
no
thrill.
Nowhere near enough. But I just, it's been a dumpster fire, Phase 5. So
yeah.
like but it wasn't. No way. Like, am I trying to defend this? It's not good. I don't think it's the worst thing in Phase 5, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
If it weren't for Thor: Love and Thunder, I'd put this as the worst.
It's definitely better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
no question.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's somewhere with like a Thor: Love and Thunder, a Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. I just hated that movie. I know people like it because of the Sam Raimi elements.
No, I
Sam
didn't like
Raimi
those.
elements does not a good movie make to me. I like Sam Raimi just fine, but that still wasn't a good movie.
Yeah. And his elements were probably some of the worst parts of that movie. Just goofy.
Some of it was really. It was like breaking my immersion in the movie. So no, and this is definitely in the lower portion of what's already a really bad phase. It was directed by Julius Ona, director of the Cloverfield Paradox. So who decided to hire this guy?
How is he still working?
I mean, who saw the Cloverfield Paradox and thought, man, that guy should direct another movie?
To be fair, the Cloverfield Paradox was clearly a different film that was edited to be a Cloverfield movie. So, yeah,
but that other movie wasn't good.
Right.
But
at least until Brave New World, he could have said, well, I had a great movie. It was just edited into something else. But here,
at no point,
even with all the reshoots, movie. I don't think that this would have been an enjoyable movie at any point.
No, this was bad.
I didn't have a good time with this. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. So obviously you've got Anthony Mackie back as Sam Wilson / the new Captain America.
Yep.
This time you've got Harrison Ford taking a turn at the Thaddeus Ross, Thunderbolt Ross character because of the passing of Hurt. What's it? William Hurt. William Hurt.
Yeah.
I wanted to call him James for some reason. I don't know. But William Hurt. Yeah.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's replacing William Hurt.
Yep.
He's phoning it in. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
He took his paycheck and just hung out at craft service for a day.
Some odd choices. Just maybe some odd takes that were chosen. I don't know. You get Danny Ramirez is Joaquin Torres, or basically the new Falcon guy.
Yep.
Whatever.
They didn't give him anything to do here.
Yeah.
Like he was just like, I guess I'm the sidekick.
He was he gets a far less interesting or compelling Don Cheadle moment.
Yeah.
Falling out of the sky. No, I'm injured in the hospital bed. Yeah. They do. So they copy two Marvel moments and do both of them far worse. They copy the War Machine falling out of the sky with my crippled suit. And then they also copy the scene of Winter Soldier at the very end when Captain America is in the bed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sam Wilson is sitting there and he's on your left, Yeah. And neither of their attempts in this movie were any good.
Well, there was no setup to it.
No. And it just felt unearned.
Right.
Yeah. It was nothing there to work off of.
Right.
You get Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. If you saw Captain America and the Winter Soldier, he is like a
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon. Sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Well, I'm trying to get used to calling him Captain America now, right? I'm trying.
He won't even get used to calling himself Captain America, man.
God, I hope not. Oh, man. Basically, Isaiah Bradley was like a previous Captain America that they like put in prison and experimented on because he's like a black man and
he's a black super soldier during was it Korea or Vietnam?
It was Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah. You get Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns. He's back from the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
He's the Brainiac
the leader
or whatever. The leader.
The leader.
Yeah, the leader. Right.
Because it turns out
who was he leading this entire time? Other
Harrison
than,
Ford. That's it.
Well, he mind controlled some people, but that's not leadership.
Right.
That's just like magic
manipulation.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the leader. Giancarlo Esposito is a tacked on at the end
he's
in reshoots
just
bad
Giancarlo
guy.
Esposito.
Yeah.
Quit putting this guy in movies, man. Stop it.
Playing the same character over and over again.
I'm tired of seeing this fucking guy.
Giancarlo Esposito and Pedro Pascal probably probably make the most money per
They're in
year,
every fucking movie. Stop it.
Tack like a Florence Pugh on there.
Right.
Yeah, man. Liv Tyler makes a comeback as Betty Ross for all about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And you also get Shira Haas as Ruth Bat-Saraf, who's like Israeli
Jewish super soldier,
Jewish Black Widow, Israeli Black Widow.
Yeah.
This made $450 million at the worldwide box office on a $180 to $210 million budget. It maybe broke even, probably didn't make any money.
I don't know how it even got there. There was no good word of mouth for this movie.
This was
they just released
movie.
it when nothing else was out, I guess, and people had money to go and see something, wanted to get out of the house. But this movie sucked, man. This was an awful movie.
It is bad. So I've been going off for about 8 minutes about how it's a bad movie. Let me get into why I think it's a bad movie. So let's start off with the first thing that I wrote in my notebook, because this movie is opening up and you get this weird like they wanted to do Winter Soldier, but they wanted to do A24 and they had to like blend them together.
Yeah.
You get this weird like intro scene of the leader's lair area thing with like these little flashing lights. And so the first note in my notebook was, look at the Brainiac's gay little lair. He's got like these little like flashing lights that just beep boop, beep boop, beep boop in the background with like no intelligible like motivation for doing so. They're just kind of like hanging out. Like it looks like, a 12-year-old streamers, so that threw me off from the opening scene, right? It was like, look at this gay little lair. Then we are treated to some our first scenes in this movie of our new Captain America kicking ass, taking names in his Wakandan suit. He looks slow. He fights like a drunken bum. Yeah. And he relies way too much on this Wakandan suit. Yeah. Like, if it's not for this suit, he's getting just annihilated by these dudes. He looks slow. He's not convincing in these action scenes at all. It looks like that suit weighs 500 pounds and it's immovable.
Probably is.
Like, he looks like a dude in a heavy rubber suit. Like, this threw me back to, like...
Batman Beyond? Or
the Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Remember the Power Rangers? He'd beat up the bad guy and he'd just be like, no. Yeah, oh dude, it was rough at a lot of parts. So, and this being, like, still it's an action Marvel movie. There's a ton of fight scenes, so if your guy looks stupid fighting, oh man. Yeah. There's several scenes of Spanish with no subtitles in this movie. I don't know if you noticed that. Especially in the scenes like Sidewinder, they'll be like speaking Spanish for a bit, It's not just like a little like da 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 da, like they're just like speaking Spanish and they're yelling and it's like great. I understand we're really committing to this multicultural globalism thing, but dude, come on, give me the subtitles. Like, obviously there, how many different languages are spoken around the world. How many people probably know what they're saying. Just give me a subtitle.
Doesn't matter though.
Who knows? I have no idea.
Go.
I have no idea what he said. They yelled at each other for
They're
3
coming.
minutes.
Run.
No,
That's
he's
it.
like interrogating people. He's like having this whole conversation with all these
Sidewinder?
hostages.
Oh,
He's like talking to the hostages and all that. And then there's a scene later in the movie too where it's similar. They're having a conversation in Spanish and no Disney, subtitle.
That's got to be a Disney Plus thing. That's got to be Disney Plus.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've started to notice that more in movies where I'm getting, especially if it's Spanish, it's like on purpose. We're going to do no subtitle. Why? Hey, dude, just put the subtitle. Not all of us took Spanish in high school. Some of us took German or took Latin or Mandarin, whatever, But yeah, so that was annoying. And then, at a point in this movie, the Thaddeus Ross, Harrison Ford, is the president, and this is obviously a Trump ripoff. This is there so many things, and this was just obviously you're trying to rip off a Trump thing, and there's literally a line in this, where he's, if I don't make amazing strides in my first 100 days, then they won't. I will be a failure. My first 100 days is what defines me. And it's like, are you serious?
Every president's first 100 days, though.
Yeah, but that's like exaggerated in both of the Trump presidencies.
True.
And it's like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
Disney, really, guys? Like, I'm just sick of it. I'm sure a lot of people are. Obviously, this thing didn't make any money. And all it is a gigantic allegory. Because once again, just like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Falcon's got to solve his problems by just be better. Just be better. Yeah. It's okay. It's going to be fine.
Come on, you're the president.
You're the president.
You can't just get mad like this.
You can't do that. And he's a bum. He's a bum, bro. He's the equivalent to Franklin Saint at the end of Snowfall. He's just a bum, dude. Just a drunk bum on the street. I can't stand him. So Brave New World, I'm so glad this thing barely broke even or didn't make any money or lost money. And it was bad. It was horrible.
Awful movie.
It was really awful. It makes me absolutely terrified for the leadership of the Avengers, because, dude, if that's your guy and that's how unconvincing you can make him, yikes. Yikes. Chris Evans was always convincing as Captain America. Like, you believed that was Captain America when you saw him. Who looks at Anthony Mackie and believes that's Captain America? I bet it's about 13%.
I wonder if the reactions to Brave New World and Thunderbolts will make them just be like, yeah, all right, New Avengers, we'll spend 20 minutes having them just be the official Avengers. Yeah. Much more enjoyable crew than Captain America and who else? What's Falcon? Joaquin Torres?
Yeah, Joaquin Torres, Falcon guy, the New Avengers, Thunderbolts squad.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld's character. You got the gay witch kid from...
Oh, that's right. From Wanda.
And the worst part is people supposedly really liked that show. So that character is going to be
I made it through
around,
2 episodes. 2 episodes I made it through.
I turned
it off.
That entire thing. I watched the whole thing.
It.
By the time I got in, I was just like, it was so stupid.
It came with the goofy square top of his head.
Yes.
What is going on?
The Wiccan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. The worst. And there's a car alarm. That's awesome. Yeah, maybe. Is it yours? Are you interrupting the podcast with your car alarm, Tim?
Let me check.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim just had to interrupt the podcast to go check on his car. But yeah, so let us know your thoughts in the comments about the Captain America Brave New World. Obviously, I hated this thing to death. Tim was not very fond of it. And it was a tremendous waste of time. It was not you?
No, it was a neighbor.
Oh, so you interrupted the podcast for nothing. Oh my God. Jeez, this guy, kids, but that's okay. I kept the seat warm for you.
Thank you.
I kept the audience hot. But yeah, so I think that's enough Brave New World for me.
Yeah, but that's enough for me.
So we probably don't have as much to say about this next one, but I watched The Men Who Stare at Goats. This came out in 2009. It's like my favorite era of movies.
Yeah.
Like 2006 to like 2011. That's perfect right there for me,
The economy was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. The movie economy was great. We got some bangers.
You had to get asses in seats, all right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So The Men Who Stare at Goats, 2009. Rated R, 94 minutes. Rotten Tomatoes, 51%. IMDb, 6.2.
It's that low?
People don't like this thing.
Really?
I mean, it's an odd one. It's an odd duck, but
it's quirky, but
yeah. This is directed by Grant Heslov, who was the producer on Argo, Good Night and Good Luck, and The Ides of March. I didn't like Argo. I like Good Night and Good Luck.
I haven't seen it.
I like The Ides of March if it was a complete film. But it's not. It's the first and second act of a story.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not a full movie. Congratulations, you made a great Act 1, Act 2.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So this one stars Ewan McGregor as Bob Wilton, who is a journalist whose life is kind of falling apart. His wife leaves him for his editor, and so he's going to go to Kuwait to prove to her that he can be something special.
Yeah.
Right? There he meets George Clooney, who plays Lynn Cassidy. This is a former psychic spy. So a lot of this comes back to like the MK Ultra sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's like CIA agents and government spies who believed in psychic abilities.
Yeah.
Right. Like these like psychic Jedis, they call themselves.
Yeah.
Right. We also get a a Kevin Spacey playing Larry Hooper, who's a kind of a rival of George Clooney's, another one of these psychic spies. And Jeff Bridges plays Bill Django, who is like the founder of these psychic spy folks, the New World Army, they call themselves. We also get, some just like kind of cameo appearances from some amazing actors. There's Robert Patrick, Stephen Lang, Stephen Root, Glenn Morsauer, Nick Offerman's in this thing too. Budget $24 million. It made $69 million. So it made enough money when it came out. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with this. It's short enough, it's like 94 minutes. And I remember seeing this when it first came out and being kind of disappointed because I was a lot younger and I think I was hoping for like the Bourne
straight
Identity. Comedy. Either like a straight comedy or like the Bourne Identity or James Bond. You think CIA and like psychic nonsense and it's like, oh, maybe this will be, Inception meets James Bond. I don't know, I don't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't that. And judging by the audience scores, I think maybe the marketing was off on this thing because that's what people maybe were expecting too. This is a very odd comedy. It's not as like dull or off-putting as like a Coen Brothers, but it's very similar to maybe like a Burn After Reading.
Yeah. Seven Psychopaths.
Yeah, Seven Psychopaths. Right.
Yeah. Same era, but yeah.
Same era, same tone when movies were fun, right? And they weren't, like built by some kind of algorithm to retain viewer duration.
The Entity.
Yeah. I had a ton of fun watching this. Coming back on it now and just like knowing kind of what it is going into it, I had a great time.
Yeah.
Basically, Ewan McGregor's gonna like chase this story then with George Clooney about what were these psychic spies, what were they doing, how did this happen? Where the title comes in is they believe that they could control these goats with their mind, and George Clooney's like ultimate act was to basically kill a goat just by staring at it.
Yeah.
And he did it. He killed it, but he then believed that that cursed them, right? Because basically these guys are like a bunch of hippies. They're taking acid. They're like doing these like naked hot tub parties.
Yeah.
Like Bill Django spends like 8 years crossing the country, like doing naked hot tub parties and doing drugs and like doing like what was it, like some kind of like jogging thing and yoga and all this different stuff, right? And comes back with like a third eye tattooed on his chest and like long, hair and braids and stuff, the whole thing. They believe that they could like pass through walls. They could see a room without actually entering it. They could become invisible. The movie opens with one of them like attempting to phase through a wall and it not working. They just like smack into the wall. And then the movie ends with Ewan McGregor apparently mastering it and phasing through a wall.
Nice.
So that's kind of up to chance. It's really up to question about like how much of this was real and how much of this is like the absolute delusions of these like
drug-induced
broken PTSD veterans from Vietnam that they enlist into this program. Right. This whole thing starts with like a near-death experience in Vietnam. And this guy then like has a vision and believes that like, oh, their gentleness is their strength, and so he's gonna become this like mind Jedi, right?
Well, Ewan McGregor is a Jedi, so
he is a Jedi, sense. So he was like a perfect casting for this whole joke, I wonder how much they had to pay him for a bit,
Who knows?
But George Clooney is fantastic in this thing. He's a ton of fun. He's paranoid. He's funny. He's stern at times. He's obviously a man who is like on the edge, right? Teetering constantly between whether or not this man is sane, whether he's just lying, does he really believe the things that he's saying? It's very interesting. Definitely recommend it. It's free on Prime right now. So check that one out. Don't waste 2 hours on Captain America Brave New World when you could waste 94 minutes and watch The Men Who Stare at Goats. It's a way better time.
Yeah. Or if you want to get out of the house, go and see Bring Her Back.
Yeah. What he said. Right. Hell yeah. Go see Bring Her Back in theaters.
Steve recommends it.
Sure. I believe in Tim.
It was her first mistake.
Yeah, well, that's what got us here. Right? But so that was fun. I also watched a documentary called That Sugar Movie. I don't have any details on it because I literally just remembered as we were filming that I watched this thing. So maybe next week I'll do a bit of a deeper dive into that thing. It was a lot of fun. Also free on Prime. So if you want to check it out in advance of next week. It's called That Sugar Movie. It's essentially Super Size Me, but with sugar.
Okay. So just becoming diabetic.
Kinda, yeah. It's a little odd because he doesn't really like push it. It's more like he went from having the perfect diet to having an imperfect diet, and the effect then.
So it's just like what happened to my body after high school, just getting fat.
Or me after getting married.
Yeah.
So there's that. Right. But maybe we'll check that out next week. Do a little bit deeper dive. I'll do some research on it. Check out, make sure they're not totally full of shit before I go. Ship off all this information to my lovely viewers. But so it was what I watched this week. It was great. Yeah. But we'll get into the news and then we'll wrap her up.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Let's get into some NFL news now.
Oh,
that's
man.
the
My
only news
part
out
of the
there.
Podcast.
Yeah. Steve's been just kicking his feet under the table the whole time waiting.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
What news is there in the off season right now?
Well, so a certain Patriots receiver is in the news once again.
Oh, not
different
one of their
team,
great receivers, huh?
Well, he's new to the team.
Their number one receiver.
Yeah, probably going to be the number one receiver this year. At least was.
Oh no.
Oh no. So Stephon Diggs posted a picture on I don't know, was it Instagram or Twitter or what it was, of him on a boat with a mysterious bag with a pink powdery substance. And
Pixie sticks?
Maybe it was Pixie sticks in a small bag that I might use to put illicit substances in. So that's been making its way around social media. It's been making its way all around NFL news and some like mainstream media as well. The Patriots have come out and responded to this that like they don't until we know exactly what's going on, but we're going to have to investigate, and determination will be made depending on what we find out. Whether or not he's going to be a part of this team. Because
oh no, he already spent a signing bonus in Colombia, and now it's gone.
Right. Yeah. So of course there's been like tons of speculation on what this substance might be. Right.
Yeah.
Is it pixie sticks? What is this pink powdery substance? So what I believe this is most likely to be, and I could totally be wrong again. We have no idea yet. Is this thing called 2C or 2CB, which is apparently very popular in Colombia as like a party drug, and it's kind of a cocktail of other illicit substances. Sometimes it's like cocaine, sometimes it's MDMA, and all sorts of shit.
Well, right? It's pink, so it's probably like mixed with Pepto-Bismol.
Right. They put a coloring agent in it because they
marketing.
They literally did marketing on this shit. They literally did. Yeah. They tried all different colors, and pink was popular, so they went with pink. I watched a little documentary on this thing like about 6 months ago.
Oh, cool.
So 2CB over there is not to be mixed up with over here 2CB, which is a totally different compound, which is typically found kind of like on the maybe darker corners of the internet. Right, it's like a manufactured hallucinogen. Right, it's sort of synthetic LSD compound. Right, I've run into this many years ago. Right,
on the Silk Road.
That's where you would sort of see this thing, right? 10, 15 years ago on the Silk Road, So totally different substance, I've never had the pink powdery shit, So very interested to see where this goes. Unfortunately for the NFL and the media, most of the drugs they put inside that 2CB cocktail are only in your system for like 24 to 48 hours. So
we'll probably get that boat back to shore.
That boat in that bag back, because otherwise we are never going to know. I bet he saw Twitter after that.
He's like, all right,
oh, hell no.
We're sailing for a day.
We are going to take a round-the-world trip real quick and come back 3 days from now. So we'll probably never know, honestly. Like, I don't think that he's going to be drug tested in a soon enough time to have a real answer as to what was in that bag. And
we'll see.
We'll never know.
We'll see.
It'll be a pixie stick forever. But yeah, so that made the NFL news. There was also some news that started, I believe, last week. And there's been kind of some follow-ups. We'll get into this too. Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears quarterback. Some might believe the savior.
The future.
Yeah, whatever.
Not me.
Whatever. I actually got a big internet argument a few days ago that kept me up until like 1 a.m. because I had to voice my truth that, I have seen the film. I watch every Bears game. I watch every preseason game. I watch the news. I follow several Bears media outlets and podcasts. Tyson Bagent is the better quarterback between the two of them. And I firmly believe that. You can come at me in the comments all you want. I will stand 10 toes to this all day. Until I see film that contradicts otherwise, we would have had a better season with Tyson Bagent last year.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. His skills complement yes. Wow. His skills complement more so what we have to do as a Chicago Bears offense. Now, with what seems like maybe a competent offensive line forming this year, we might have a different case. Caleb may have, several seconds to focus in and launch one of those crazy deep passes, but that's not what we need. What we need is a fighter, right? What I think when I think of the Chicago Bears quarterback room is I think of the F1 trailer, right? Yeah. When Brad Pitt's talking about those cars, right? Says, well, they have us beat in the straights, right? And that's a Caleb Williams, right? He could throw that ball for 75 yards and hit that receiver, and that's great. That's fine and dandy. But unfortunately, we're the Chicago Bears, man. And we
don't have time.
Now we are built for combat, right? We are built for combat. Would be better. And that is a Tyson Bagent, right?
Yeah.
Get the ball out fast, be able to move, be able to take hits and
block.
Keep moving and block and be able to work the actual offense in a quick manner like the NFL demands, right? Not holding the fucking ball for 7 seconds. Like you can hold the ball for 7 seconds if you've got the Chiefs offensive line of 2022 and you can just stand there, right? Just stand there, homie, and you got all day.
No pressure.
You can just stand back there. You're going to be okay. But, dude, this is Chicago. So, no, we needed Tyson Bagent last year. Last year, I think if we had Bagent, we would have been looking at more like maybe a 10-7.
Not a chance.
Oh, yeah. No, I think absolutely. There was so many, how many close losses there were on that schedule. And the difference would have been getting that fucking ball out in 2 to 3 seconds instead of getting that ball out in 7.
True.
Yeah. That ball matriculates down the field if you get the ball out in 2 to 3 seconds. It does not matriculate down the field. It goes fucking backwards if you're holding it for 7 seconds running in the wrong goddamn direction.
Yeah.
I hate Caleb Williams, dude. Like, he gets me so mad.
Is there any news with him, or is this just
the actual news, right? Sorry. After I got sidetracked, man, he just infuriates me. They just glaze this fucker all day, and he's
not
no
that
good.
guy, pal.
He's not that guy. Anyway, so it came out that he really did not want to go to the Chicago Bears, and were right. Who
would?
So between him and his family, were looking into alternative options to going number 1 to the Chicago Bears. Whether they could either join the UFL and then come back to the NFL in a year or two, or whether they, literally like hire lawyers and sue the franchise out of hiring them.
Out of the number 1 pick.
He even considered, having a live conference and just nuking the city and just going off on Chicago and how he doesn't want to go there, right? All these things were considered. And apparently, after meeting with the Bears, he decided, no, okay, I'm going to go to, it's going to be fine. I can make it work.
That idiot.
But
that idiot should have just nuked the city, dude.
Should have just nuked it. Should have went to the NFL, played for Birmingham.
Yeah.
Can do it again,
Bro, just go to war.
Just
sign up for the army,
yeah,
dude.
Just go to the army. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure they'll let you carry your fucking purse over there, you goddamn pansy. God, I hate that quarterback.
That's why he didn't want to come to Chicago, man.
Exactly, because he was just going to get ripped apart on a podcast about movies. But yeah, so that all happened, and then this week he, had like a press conference, right, and addressed the issue. It was like, no, and I'm my own man, and my dad doesn't speak for me, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna play for this team to the best of my ability, and blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah.
I mean,
fuck that guy, dude. I want to see the
dude.
preseason again. I want to see some film. I want to get into preseason. I want to see what this looks like. I want Caleb Williams to get hurt, and I want Tyson Bagent to start for a significant amount of time, and I want to see what this looks like.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
What do you want him to get hurt?
I was so disappointed last year that he didn't get at least like a 2-3 week window where it's like, dude, you got a strain or something, and you just got to sit down.
Yeah.
And Bagent gets to like run that offense, and we get to see what it looks like with somebody. I got a guy who's actually knows what he's doing in the NFL.
Yeah.
That was my biggest regret last year. Thing I wish I would have got to see during the season is some time with Bagent and that offense. In his second year after what was just a fine start for a first year backup undrafted free agent. That was fine. You don't have to be Brock Purdy. You're an undrafted free agent. That was good. We can work with that. Let's keep that ball rolling. I said all year last year we should have traded that first draft pick, got a haul for it, been able to build the team, and see what we got. Hey, if Bagent sucks, guess what? We could have got Arch Manning next week. Whatever. We could roll with him for a couple of years, and if he sucks, there'll be another. I'm sure there'll be another good quarterback in the draft somewhere.
Why we don't even need to draft a quarterback, dude. There are so many great quarterbacks on the free agency every single year.
Not right now.
Every offseason, dude.
You want Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins will be fine at the Bears.
Hell no. Did you watch the Falcons last year? Oh my God. He's done. He is done. That aren't any better than the Bears.
Kirk Cousins would be all right at the Bears.
No. Because he's a fucking statue too. You'd be stuck there. And I'm crushed into the ground, and my Achilles is broken again. And now we're starting Tyson Bagent. So what? Actually, you know what? Yeah, hell yeah. You know what? Chicago, you guys should get Kirk Cousins. We should trade Caleb Williams for Kirk Cousins, and yeah, it'll be all good. Yeah, I'll see Bagent week 2.
Preseason week 2.
Hell yeah, dude. Yep. Starter for the whole season as of preseason week 2. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see, man. We're in the long dark of the off season until we start to get some preseason games. We start to see some things happen, and but we're getting close. We're less than 100 days. We're less than 100 days. We're getting there, man. We're
you can do it
over 3 months.
You can do it.
Breathe. Just breathe. We can do it. We can do it. That's 90-something days for Caleb Williams to get hurt and not be my quarterback.
Or get chased out of Chicago.
Yeah. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Aye. But yeah, that was pretty much it for news in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, just kind of NFL stuff.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
Did you do anything fun this week?
Work.
I also worked.
Yeah.
I worked too. I've been playing Path of Exile.
What is that?
It is I'm playing the original. Path of Exile is getting fully released in a couple of days. Path of Exile 2. But I'm playing the original. Path of Exile is a free-to-play online game, very much in the same vein of Diablo that I play the shit out of, right? But way more complex. I don't know how to describe it without a visual, but it's say you had, here's 100 options for skill points or whatever on your skill tree for Diablo. Well, here's 700, and here's 5 different trees, and here's don't
give me that many options.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just want to play Viva Pinata. That's it. Just give me another Viva Pinata game. I'm good.
I like Spreadsheet the game. It's all the games I play are Spreadsheet the game.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
fine.
Why do you do that to yourself?
Because that's all I do at work too. Is I play around on spreadsheets, and so I come home and I play with this stuff. Where I don't know.
You hear that? He's a freak in the sheets.
I'm a freak in the sheets. Absolutely, absolutely. Excel or Libra. I go both ways. Oh man. Yeah. No, I didn't really do anything either. Just worked. I saw some movies. Did some stuff.
Oh, there's a couple more movies coming out this week.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
We got a wide release for the Phoenician Scheme.
Yay!
Yeah. You can cheer. You can see that one.
I will.
Have fun.
They're gonna give out free grenades.
I'd be diving on one like Captain America. I will rather be watching Dangerous Animals. Jai Courtney using people as shark bait. Ooh-ha.
I'm excited to see that too. That looks like a lot of fun.
That looks so good, dude.
Oh yeah,
that looks so good. Jai Courtney in these roles, love him.
Yes,
love him.
Yes,
ever since Boomerang, where I'm like, dude, he should have been doing this the whole time. He should have been goofy.
He should be the rough, goofy, weird bad guy. Mildly psychotic. That's a great role for him.
I'll take it.
Yep.
The Ritual comes out. That's Al Pacino and Dan Stevens battling over an exorcism. Looks boring.
You're exorcising the age out of Al Pacino.
Yeah. Something like that.
By the end of that 9-hour 38-minute runtime, he'll be a young man again.
No,
he'll be like the first half of The Irishman.
Everyone will be older and worse. But there's a comedy coming out. I saw a trailer for it before Friendship called I Don't Understand You. It's got Nick Kroll and Andrew.
I like Nick Kroll.
Andrew Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Yeah. Reynolds. Yeah.
Reynolds.
They're a gay couple looking to have a adoption. Yeah. That's what gay means.
Yeah.
Sword fighting. So they're staying in Italy at an Airbnb and accidentally kill their host, and shenanigans follow with them trying to cover up and whatnot. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Trailer was pretty good, so I'm
check
looking
it out.
forward to that one. So
yeah.
And
our big movie of the week, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. Ana de Armas, 120-pound woman beating up some large men. Are you excited?
Have seen exactly one trailer.
Really?
For Ballerina.
I've seen far too many.
One. I saw it before my second showing of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Really?
So, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. One time.
You know what's weird? And it is slightly concerning for the quality of this film. Is I was seeing a ton of trailers for this thing.
Until recently?
Right? In the past few weeks, it started to calm down, and I don't really hear a peep about this. I had no idea it was coming out next week until we looked it up this morning.
And we were like, oh shit.
Oh my God.
This is a wide release too. This isn't a limited release.
Oh yeah. So this disappeared off the face of the marketing map a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
What do you think that means? Do you think it's worth anybody's time to go see, or do you think it's going to be a giant dog turd and everybody's going to be mad about it?
75 million opening weekend.
Really?
No.
Oh, shit.
35?
Yeah, there.
35. Yeah. This not a good sign that they're
put a number on it, because I mean, people are really tied to the John Wick franchise. They love John Wick. But this, and it's going to have Keanu Reeves. He's in the trailer.
Yeah.
You know, but this disappeared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet when I go to work tomorrow and I tell everybody, oh, my movies this week are this and this and this and Ballerina, and they're going to go,
huh?
Yeah. What's that? Oh, they're making another John Wick? Yeah. So,
Did you watch The Continental? That series?
The series? No.
Yeah.
I did not.
It's pretty good.
I'm not a fan of the main actor. I can't exactly what his name was. Playing the young dude from the hotel.
Oh yeah. Playing young Ian McShane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that just didn't do it for. Like, I saw it was him, and I was like, It's like when I see Timothy Chalamet in a movie, and I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that smelly Frenchman in anything.
So I watched a lot of trailers as part of the channel. Got to stay up to date. I got recommended on YouTube an AI generated Forrest Gump 2 trailer with Timothy Chalamet.
It too,
It's so fucking funny. I can't believe that this is. I'm like, oh my God, this has like 3 million views.
That fucker was going around Twitter too.
Dude, it's hilarious. Check it out. It's hilarious.
Yep, it is pretty funny.
The best part, there's a close up of like newspaper clippings, and it says Forrest Gump. Like, can't get the letters right, and all the comments are just these old people being like, finally they're making it. It's like, no, dude, get your grandma off the internet, bro.
A man carrying thing made a short like about this, like,
really?
I think a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really funny. I just watched it this morning on my feed. Yeah.
I got the recommendation. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Dude, looks great.
Dude,
looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. Can't wait to see that one in theaters. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we'll have a pretty stacked week next week, and then the week after that will be How to Train Your Dragon and Materialist.
Yeah.
So
with limited sex.
I'm excited for How to Train Your Dragon. I'm excited for How to Train Your Dragon. That looks fine.
You think it's gonna make anything after the Lilo and Stitch?
Yes.
Bomb?
Dude, it's after the Lilo.
The nuke that is Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. No, I think, dude, it's gonna annihilate.
Really?
It is gonna make so much money.
It's going to have to. They spent $50 million in pre-production.
For
$50 million.
Jesus.
Yes. And it's nearly shot for shot remake. There's your pre-production right there. You already animated everything.
No, I think that this thing's gonna crush. I mean, I know people who love the originals, and this thing is gonna.
Because we both would have been.
I was too old for it.
Yeah, we both would have been a couple years over. Well, a couple years removed from being the market audience for that. But yeah, I don't.
This thing's gonna destroy box office, man. It's gonna make so much money. It looks really good too.
Looks better than The Materialists.
Oh God, I'd be sick. I don't want to think about that.
Fucking Woody Allen movie.
Literally, it's just bad. Just bad. Bad turds. People. You bad turds. People. Stop putting these movies out here.
Turds coming out this month.
Man. So I hate that movie. But you know what? There's something that I have wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to spoil it at all today, that I think will tie in great with The Materialists once we get there. that I think we will probably.
I gotta wait 2 weeks for this.
To talk about.
Yeah, I gotta wait 2 weeks. All right.
Oh, I'll tell you about it so you can prepare, because this is going to be a theory that I have been spending some time on this year that I want to share with our audience.
Okay.
So yeah. But
little teaser there for you.
Little teaser. So maybe that'll be a bigger episode than we think it is.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon plus Materialist plus a philosophical discussion from yours.
Plus sex.
Plus sex. Tim and I are going to have sex.
No, we are not. No, we save that for the OnlyFans.
That's for the Patreon. If you pledge $1 an episode.
No, sex. I need to clarify. Sex is getting a limited release June 13th. It's a movie just called Sex. I don't know anything about it.
Yes, Sex is a drama romance. With apparently this looks like it's maybe from Sweden. Judging by the names here.
Yeah.
Strand releasing
some Scandinavian.
Yeah, this is something Scandinavian.
Two colleagues who in different ways struggle with the same issues about their sexuality.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't look like a movie we're going to be seeing.
Nope.
Yeah.
We're not having sex anytime soon. Sorry, folks.
Only on the Patreon. Yeah, so, whatever. We got a couple of weeks of good movies coming out. And after that's 28 weeks later or years later.
That comes out in like 28 weeks.
Oh, June's a big month.
That's what it feels like.
It's gonna be a busy month.
I've been waiting for this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah. I think that probably does it for me.
I'm all set.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, as always, we much appreciate you guys staying for the episode. Give us a like, subscribe, share with your friends. We are, as of filming this episode, we're sitting at 35 subscribers, so we're making a little bit of progress. I believe what was our end of the year goal? You remember?
I think it was 3 million, right?
3 million? Yeah, 3 million by the end of the year. Hell yeah.
We're on our way.
We much appreciate the support. If you have made it this far, again, thank you very much for watching.
You.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Enjoy the outro, and we'll see you all next time. Guys, have a great day. Peace.